We want to solve this system of nonlinear equations. If you want to solve the problem yourself, please pause the video. Nonlinear equations are usually tricky to solve, and most of the time there are not systematic methods to solve them. It took me a while to find a reasonably simple solution for this, but it's a little bit tricky and there might be other ways to solve it. So this is how I solve this problem. We have x plus square root of y is 11 and square root of x plus y is 7. We can rewrite this as x plus square root of y is 9 plus 2 and square root of x plus y is 4 plus 3. Now if I rearrange the two sides, we can write 2 minus square root y equals to x minus 9 and 3 minus square root x equals to y minus 4. We can rewrite the right hand side of this equation as, so the left hand side will be, we keep it as is, 2 minus square root y, but the right hand side I can write as square root of x minus 3 times square root of x plus 3, and for the second equation I can write the right hand side as square root y minus 2 times square root y plus 2. Now we see that the left hand side of the first equation is the negative of this term, so I can rewrite this as square root y minus 2 is minus square root x minus 3 times square root x plus 3, and the second equation is as is. Now let's replace this term into the second equation, and we will have 3 minus square root x will be equal to minus square root x minus 3 times square root x plus 3 times this term, square root y plus 2. And let's move the left hand side to the right hand side, and that will give us 3 minus square root x plus square root x minus 3 times square root x plus 3 times square root y plus 2 is 0. Let's factor out square root x minus 3, so we get minus 1 plus square root x plus 3 multiplied by y square root y plus 2 equals to 0. Now if this expression is to be 0, either the first multiplicative term has to be 0 or the second. So if the first one is 0, we will get square root x is 3, therefore x will be 9. And if we replace x equals to 9 into the second equation, we will have root 9 plus y is 7, and this is 3, therefore y will be 4. So one answer to the equation is x equals to 9 and y equals to 4. Now, if the second multiplicative term in this equation is 0, then square root x plus 3 times square root y plus 2 has to be 1. Now let's see if this is even possible. Since x is greater than or equal to 0, because if it is negative, this square root will not be defined, then square root of x will be greater than or equal to 0, and therefore square root of x plus 3 will be greater than or equal to 3. And since y has to be greater than or equal to 0, then square root of y will be greater than or equal to 0, and therefore square root of y plus 2 has to be greater or equal to 2. And if we multiply these two terms together, we will get square root x plus 3 times square root y plus 2 has to be greater or equal to 6. Therefore, it can never be equal to 1, and there is no more root. So the only root that this equation has is x equal to 9 and y equal to 4. If you like this video, please consider joining the channel or giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with other people who might be interested. Also, if you're interested in similar problems, I encourage you to check out the playlists. Thank you.